Hello, students. It is Sunday, November 6th. I'm doing this little video update to talk about the stuff that you did last week and then the stuff that we are discussing this week. Um, First up, I want to talk about an issue that's been in the news, and I'm sure many of y'all are paying attention about this. Some of you even posted about this on Packback. It's Elon Musk's takeover of Twitter. One of the reasons he said he wanted to take over Twitter was to promote the First Amendment and to make it more of an open forum for discussion. And last time I made one of these, I was a little optimistic and open-minded about like, let's give the guy benefit of the doubt, see what he's going to do. He seems to be making some pretty strange decisions, including, he posted some fraudulent conspiracy theories about the attack on Nancy Pelosi's husband, making clear that he's open to spreading false information. He's also said that, or they've already introduced this, I think, paying $8 a month for a blue check mark rather than being verified through your identity. I guess anyone who's willing to pay $8 can be verified. And oh, hold on. Okay, where was I? Yeah, I guess anyone who's willing to pay $8 a month can be verified and get preferred status, which just seems, I understand that Twitter needs to make money, but it seems to me like if you're verified, if you have a legitimate number of followers that you've grown organically, you don't need to pay for that verification status. And if you're willing to pay for that verification status, what's to prevent scammers and spammers and unscrupulous people for anyway? I don't know. I don't know. I think that I understand why business has gone south, and I understand why advertisers are leaving the platform, and advertisers are not willing to sign up for Twitter if they think it's going to become a cesspool of misinformation. Elon Musk is blaming activists. I guess he's attacking wokeness, saying that woke people are attacking him. But hey, I mean, if you're making poor business decisions and not providing a suitable, attractive place for advertisers, I don't think you can blame the advertisers for leaving your platform. Anyway, before I start talking about some of the packback responses for this week, I'm going to go back to the week before when the topic was electronic media regulation. There is a particular provision in the law. Pay attention now, a particular provision in the law that means social media platforms like Twitter and Facebook are not responsible for the information posted by their users, meaning if someone did post something defamatory on Twitter, this rule says Twitter is not legally responsible for that. What is that rule? Yes, Section 230. It's in the news a lot. Okay, the other thing that was discussed on Packback was people talked about, there was a question. What was the question? Kennedy asked this: in the modern age, do you think television now leads towards entertainment or education? And most people, this was a good question from Kennedy. Other people said it's mainly used to entertain. Yeah, Bethany also said, yeah, it's used primarily to distract. And what else do we have here? Jade said it's used both. It can be used to educate or distract. I think that there is definitely information you can gain from TV news out there, but many people seem to be using it as a form of distraction. And some of the news that you get is maybe of questionable quality. And then another question was, this was interesting. What is more important, honest politicians or honest journalists? And Nicole asked this question. I had never thought about this before. And what are some of the responses? William says, historically, no one's expected politicians to be honest. We need honest journalists. Emma said, I think both are equally important, but honest journalists might be more common, Again, the idea that no politicians are honest. I think politicians mean to be honest. I think they try to be honest, but I think situations change and they're unable to abide by the promises they made on the campaign trail. But I don't think too many politicians go out deliberately trying to lie. I just think the situations change. And if you're totally honest, have totally above board integrity, you have crystal clear ethics, you might not even make it in politics. This is a cynical view that I have, but I don't think that really honest, upstanding, totally virtuous people, I don't think they survive. And I think we've got this very nasty kind of political environment that leads to flawed candidates being put forward. Anyway, that's my own personal feeling. Um, Questions about honest journalists or honest politicians. Hello, Gene said they're both important, but honest journalism is more important. Okay. Anyway, I love the pack back discussions. I thought those were very good. Another thing that was discussed on the pack back was the role of social media in relation to TV news in the 50s, the role of cancel culture related to the Red Scare. What are some differences, similarities? And some people even talked about the whole licensing issue, like why is it that the government has a license for television news? You do not have a license for newspaper journalists, and there's no license for anyone working online, but there is a license for broadcast TV news now. If you are a broadcast TV station, you do need a license. And going back to the material we covered about 2 weeks ago, I'm going to ask a question right here. What is the justification that the government uses for licensing television and radio outlets? What is the justification? Yeah, it has to do with spectrum scarcity, which some engineers insist is no longer a thing, and that we have the technology that we could operate as many over-the-air channels as we wanted to. But we're still abiding by these rules that were made decades ago. And then again, many people are not even getting their information from over-the-air transmission. But we still have this vestige idea that TV and radio news outlets need to be licensed by the government. Okay, the topic for this week is obscenity and pornography and indecency. These are different terms, they have different meanings. So you should take a look at the lecture notes, take a look at the video lecture. These are not synonymous terms: obscenity, indecency, pornography. Okay, they all mean different things. And as a current example, I found a news story about in Virginia, politicians attempting to ban two books. One of the books was Gender Queer. I repeat, the name of the book was Gender Queer. And I think the subject matter probably made people uncomfortable. The politicians were trying to use, rather than say this is inappropriate, we don't want our kids learning from a book called Gender Queer, they said it's obscene. So that was the justification. The judge overruled that. But anyway, that's kind of a current example, just to kind of give you a sense of like how these issues are relevant and discussed today. Okay, that's the recap and update for the week. After we talk about obscenity, we're going to talk about intellectual property. That's coming up. We've only got a couple weeks left. Hang in there. Hang in there. Thanksgiving is coming soon, and then it's the end of the semester.